Hey friends! Today I'm going to be talking to you about being visually impaired and putting on makeup. This is a topic that has been requested from lots of people. Now, before we jump into me doing my makeup and me showing you how I kind of do it, I will say that I don't wear a ton of makeup. It's hard for me to see the details and to be able to put it on well. And it's just not fun for me because I'm not able to see the detail and it's just stressful to me. However, I do think that it's nice to sometimes wear a little bit of makeup. The makeup I do wear is very simple. It doesn't take a lot of time or any kind of expertise whatsoever. I am not a makeup artist. I'm not someone who understands makeup at all. In fact, I'm quite the opposite. So if that's what you're looking for, this is not the video for you. This video is not sponsored by any brands or anything. This is just me showing what I use personally. Alright, so let's talk about my setup for a minute. This is super important when I'm applying makeup. I need to have the proper lighting, but not so bright that it hurts my eyes. Honestly, it can be very tricky because my vision requires to have a lot of light to be able to see, especially when I'm doing fine detail like makeup. However, my condition is Aniridia, which means that more light is getting in because my pupils are super large. And so there's kind of this contradiction of needing light, but light hurting my eyes. So this is one reason why I just get in, I do my makeup, and I leave. I don't want to be looking into the bright light any longer than I need to. Now my vanity has these super bright lights that are typical on a vanity. I personally cannot look directly into the lights that are on my vanity. In fact, I don't use the mirror when I'm doing my makeup. That's more of what I use when I'm doing my hair or that kind of generic thing. But I can't look into it for my makeup because it's just so bright. So I have my vanity that I'm sitting next to on my right side here, and then I'm turned to the side so that only part of my face is in the light, and that helps a little bit. I can still see the light a little bit on my peripheral, but because I'm not looking directly into it, it's not nearly as harsh, and my eye that is more sensitive to light is on this side, so this way it makes it easier for me to do my makeup. So because I can't use the vanity mirror and it's kind of far away, even if I wanted to try to use it, I would have to get in really close. I just have this handheld mirror and I use this. I hold it to my face, and that way I can get as close as I need to see what I'm doing when I'm doing my makeup, and I can move it around and adjust it. It is a little annoying because you have to hold it in one hand, but I'm so used to doing it when I'm doing my makeup, it doesn't even faze me anymore. I have tried using in the past those mirrors where it super magnifies things and it sits on your desk, and it just hurts my eyes so bad to look in that magnification, even though it makes things look really large. And these mirrors are super cheap, so that's always a plus. I bet you could even get one at the dollar store. Another tool that I find super helpful is this little razor. I don't know what it would be called, but it's just like a pinpoint laser. It has a light on it, and I use it all the time for my facial hair. So I'll use it specifically for under my eyebrows to clean things up. Now, I personally can't pluck my own eyebrows because I can't see the detail. I can't see a single hair very well on my face, especially. I can see like my arm if I put it up really close, but I can't see the hairs on my face to do little bits of plucking of eyebrows. I can see them just barely enough to be able to use this tool, which is super helpful, and I kind of just buzz it along the made line that I already kind of naturally have. And the goal of using this is to get all the little lingering outlier hairs so that I have a cleaner line, and that way I can use this in between getting to the salon and having them waxed or threaded. With that being said, let's do my makeup. I really only do a couple of steps. The first one that I typically would do is a CCTM cream, color correcting tinted moisturizer. This is lighter than foundation, but it does help have a light coverage. And for me, as someone who has freckles, it would be really difficult for me to try to cover everything up, especially when I can't see the detail of it a lot. And so I just opt for the lighter coverage, and I think it looks more natural and better personally. So I know a lot of people will apply foundation with a brush. I personally like to apply it just with my fingers because I can feel where on my face I have been able to get everything. Anytime I can use touch over using my vision, I will do so. So let's go ahead and get some on. I just like to pump some on the lid of my container, and then I'll just kind of use my finger to dab it around my face everywhere. Like I said, guys, I am not any type of expert on makeup, so just keep that in mind. This part with this cream, I don't need to use a mirror because it's more of just getting it everywhere on my face, so I will use both hands without a mirror for this step. Just try to get everywhere on my face. I think I got a little bit too much, but that's okay. We will work with what we have. So I just like to make sure that I get it down on my neck so I don't have a weird line. Can you guys hear the children and dogs that are outside today? It's been super cold here in Utah where I live, and today is nice and bright and sunny and quite a bit warmer, so I feel like people are taking advantage and spending time outside. All right, so now what I'll do to finish the CCTM cream is I'll take this beauty blender, and I'll just rub it around my face. This way, now that I've used my hands to fill around and make sure it's everywhere, I'll just use this blender to make sure that it's all blending in well. This tool is great because it tends to work really well at blending, and I don't have to look at the fine detail. Now, personally, I don't put any bronzer or blush on because I'm using such a light cream for my foundation. So that saves me steps and having to try to make sure I'm blending things well. Okay, next, what I do is I use a brush. This is a pencil brush that I use for my eyebrows. Now, I have eyebrows that start out pretty dark brown and then they fade to blonde, which is a little difficult for me to see because anywhere where it's blonde, it's very challenging for me to be able to see that area of it, but I just try to do my best. I will use my pointer finger to fill the middle of where my brow starts, up the bridge of my nose. I'll use the brush and I'll brush it on here, and then I'll kind of follow the line of the hair, and then when I get towards the end, I will put my pointer finger down where I want the end to be so that I can feel it when I'm hitting my hand and I've reached that point to where I need to stop. And then I'll do the same on that side. All right, let's do it. I've never actually put makeup on a camera. It's kind of funny. Not my thing at all. So I have this thing where my hair in this corner always needs to be added in because it's a weird shape, and I just like it to be more of a organic circular shape instead of a jagged one. So I'll put it there, and then now I'm brushing my hair in the way of my hair that it naturally brushes to blend it in. And then I'll just do a little bit touch up on this side. Now I need to do the corners, and I'll do that trick I was telling you about. I'll typically put my mirror down or face it up against the wall and hold it up that way. But right now I'm using you guys, the camera, as a mirror, which is actually working quite nicely. So I can use both hands for this part. Okay. So now I have where I want it to stop because I put a little bit here at the end and I worked on the curve in the middle. So now anywhere I need to fill in the middle, I figured that out. And then we'll do the other side. So it's definitely easier for me to do my makeup that is on the side with my good eye because I can just see it better, if that makes sense. So I need to set this down. We're gonna mark this. And then this side's a little trickier. I really can't see it because it's so blonde. All right, so I marked that. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use the brush and go the stroke of my hair. My eyebrow hairs, I don't know if everyone's is like this, but mine go outward from my face. So from the center outward. So I just draw little pencil lines from the outward down and up to the outside. This pencil works really well with like rubbing it as you go. It's not like super permanent or anything, which is really helpful for me because then I can kind of wipe it as needed. And then I'll brush it to make sure that I got all the little areas. All right. It's not perfect. I don't need perfect. I think that will work though. Okay, my next step is just doing some eyeshadow. Now, people are super fancy with their eyeshadow. I cannot be fancy with my eyeshadow at all. I cannot see well enough to blend it, to purposely like get it in one area to another. I can't see that, so I just don't do that. What I do is just one color on my whole lid and I call it good. I think it looks fine, it looks good, it's simple and clean. Now I have seen a hack or two used for people who are visually impaired. So I'm going to teach you one if you want to try something more complicated. I might try this eventually, but I do have small eyes. They're pretty small. So when I was trying this earlier off camera, it didn't seem to work very well because my eyes are so small. So the hack was to get a spoon. So what you do is you would put your base color on first over the whole lid. And then once you've done the base color, you would put the spoon up wherever you want the beginning of the second color to be. And then you can color here and have a second color above the spoon, and it will give it a nice clean line there. And then you would turn the spoon and do it the same on the other side. This hack does not work for me for multiple reasons. Like I said, my eyes are super small. I can't see the detail. But also, when I cover my eye on this side to try to do that, I cannot see anything out of this eye. I can't. I wouldn't even be able to do it if I wanted to. When I said I was going to try it later, not happening. I'm covering my eye and I can't see nothing. So that's kind of funny. They had this trick for someone who's visually impaired. I can see this trick working for some people though, if your vision's pretty equal in both eyes. So one idea for you to try. That's funny. I didn't even cover this eye when I was trying it out earlier. I was just noticing that my eyes are small and the spoon was like covering my whole eye, and then I was like, well, maybe a plastic spoon would work better, which did work a little better because it's a little bit smaller than my normal spoon. But there you go. Okay, so I just have one color here. You can use whatever color you want. I have some that are individual colors like this. I also have some that are palette that are larger, and it just depends on what I feel like wearing for the day. This is one of my go-to colors. It's just a lighter bright pink, and I just really like this color, so I use this one a lot. So I'm just using a medium smallish brush here. It's pretty rounded and just basic. It's pretty close to the size of my eyelid. I'm really just putting makeup on it. You don't need a ton, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna take my mirror and I'm going to put makeup the best I can on my eyelid. This one's a little easier because if my eyes close, it doesn't affect my vision. The other side, it gets a little tricky. We'll do that. One thing I have never done, and I don't think I will ever be able to do or want to do, is eyeliner. It's just too detailed for me. And that's okay, because I don't need it, so I'm okay with that. It's kind of sad because I think some people look really good with eyeliner, but I've just accepted that that's not for me. And occasionally people will do my makeup for me, and I can be treated with people doing my makeup for me. See, I'm wanting to close my eye because it's so bright, but I need it to see. So I basically use my good eye to see for both sides, even though you tend to want to close the one that you're putting makeup on. All right, I think I got it pretty good. I can't really tell, but that will work. So now I just have one color on both lids, covering the whole lid, and that way I don't have to worry about blending or anything with other colors. Doing anything fancy, no wings, no nothing. That's it. Maybe one day I will be brave enough to try some more complicated stuff, but this is not the day. All right, 2 more simple steps. I just have this mascara that I'll be putting on my eyes. Now, another hack that I saw that I thought was interesting was holding, I don't know how people do these hacks. This is crazy. Like, you're supposed to put this here while you're putting on mascara. That way you don't get mascara at the top where I just put eyeshadow. But how am I supposed to hold this and hold my mirror? It's not gonna work for me, man. The idea of using this hack where I can put it on my eyelid though, so that it doesn't mess it up, is a great idea, because that happens to me a lot. But you kind of just have to accept it. So I feel like mascara is the most tricky part for me to do. I like this mascara. It's nice and simple, and it doesn't tend to get clumps, which is nice, because then I would have to figure out how to deal with clumps. When it starts getting clumpy, I know it's time to get a new bottle. That feels pretty good to me. I can feel on my eyelashes that it's pretty coated everywhere because it feels a little heavier where there's mascara. Now I'm gonna switch to the other side. So I'll just change the mirror to my other hand, and I will put it on. Now this eye is a little easier because I can see out of the eye that I'm putting mascara on a little better, a lot better. Who am I kidding? And so it helps me be able to put this on better. And I try my best to make sure that my makeup is even on both sides. It looks like it's a little heavier on the other side, so just because it's a little darker. No one's ever commented on my makeup looking terrible. Maybe that's just because they're being nice, but works for me, and I'm okay with that. I can see it well enough that I can tell the basics. I'm not saying I can't see it all. I'm visually impaired, not blind, so I can see some stuff. I'm just saying it's hard for me to see the fine details. If I do mess up, which I'm glad I didn't today, that's really nice, I will just use like a makeup wipe that I have and a Q-tip. I've found that if you put lotion on a Q-tip, you can get makeup off pretty easy before it dries, especially the mascara. So I'll take a Q-tip and I'll kind of try to get the areas where I messed up. Because mascara is black and my eyelids are typically lighter, it makes it a little easier for me to remove the mascara, which is nice. All right, the last thing I'm going to be using for my makeup look today is just a lip gloss. This is a tinted lip gloss. I'll just put it on my lips and it will make it this color. I thought this color would be fun with the shirt I'm wearing. Guys, I'm wearing my sweater. Let's see if I can show you. I'm wearing this sweater I got at Disneyland. It has a bunch of tactile dots that are super colorful and have sparkles. And then it has a silhouette of the castle at Disneyland, so that's fun. And then the back, if you can see, it says Disneyland in the colorful dots, so it's fun. I like it a lot. All right, let's get this lip gloss on. I gotta get out the door soon, so I just squeeze it on. Once again, you guys are a good mirror. I'll use my fingers a little bit. Honestly, most of the time, I just wear lip gloss that's not tinted, because then I don't have to worry about the color and if it's clean and everything. I can tell that it's messed up a little bit here. This color is hard to use. It is not cooperating, people. I gotta make sure I get the corners. That happens a lot. One last look. I use the paper towel a lot when I'm doing my lip gloss because it's hard for me to tell where the line is of where it should begin and end, so I'll use it to clean it up a bit. I might have to do a little bit more touch up, but we're gonna call that good for this video. This is my finished makeup look. Very simple. I have neutral eyes, so I used a brighter color on my lips. I like I showed you, super simple makeup, nothing that's huge or groundbreaking. But this works well for me as someone who's visually impaired. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up so that I know that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see anything similar to this video in the comments below. And if you're visually impaired and you have any good hacks or tips to share with other people, feel free to leave them in the comments, and that would be great. I would love if you subscribed to my channel and supported me along my journey of sharing my story with others and being a designer who's visually impaired. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. I hope that you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!